Well, good morning. Today's Wednesday, January the 13th, and I'm showing you this wool, making this video about dyeing wool and silk and other fibers. I've been looking at a YouTube channel called Cabinboyknits, and there are two people that are on it. It's Christopher and Jamie. They live in a log cabin in the Canadian woods. And Christopher does a lot of dyeing. He uses natural dyes. He also is a knitter. He does some spinning. He puts on a lot of videos about natural dyeing. I have natural dyed myself before yarn, but I usually use an acid dye. And the acid that I use with the dye is just plain vinegar. And the vinegar combines with the dye pigments, and it locks the dye pigments onto the wool or natural fiber. The acid dye dyes protein, so it won't dye cottons, plant materials, things like that. It will dye wool, silk, any other animal fiber, mohair, alpaca, camel. So it's a protein dye, and it will dye proteins. And in this video, I'm showing you the skeins of yarn that I'm going to be dyeing in the next week or so. And most of it is the wool, commercially spun wool that I buy for making rugs or tapestry. And what I'm showing here is at the end of that rod, there's about six skeins that are hand-spun yarn that I spun, ranging from alpaca, silk, and wool, and mohair. So those, what we're looking at now are those hand-spun yarns that I'm also going to dye, along with the other commercially spun yarn. Now the commercially spun yarn, I will be using that to make a few rugs and a tapestry. The hand-spun yarns, I will be using those to make a neck scarf, I think. I'm not really for sure until it happens. We'll see. But again, the reason I'm showing you this video, showing you the yarn or the dyeing, is that Christopher of the Cabinboyknits was interested in seeing my dyeing process. And I told him, well, I would put up some videos about dyeing. So he inspired me to do this video, and we'll do some follow-up videos of what the process of my dyeing is. It's a very sunny day today. I'm looking forward to dyeing the commercially dyed yarn because I haven't made any rugs in a long time, and I'm looking forward to making new rugs. And I'm also planning to make a tapestry, and I'll need some new yarn for tapestry. Not necessarily new yarn, but new colors. Now I'm showing you, there's the drum that I'm working on. It's an update of that. Besides the yarn that I'm going to dye, I've done the drum. I'm working on that. I'm going to show you a little bit of the weaving. The last weaving I put up that was like 20 minutes long, and then I cut it down to make it speed up to like a minute and a half, whatever that was. But this is what I was weaving. I haven't woven on this since then. I've got about 2.5 more feet to weave, and then this will be finished, and I'm going to start on a new project. This was a tabby weave, which is plain weave. The next project I'm going to do is going to be a twill. It's going to be a herringbone. So I will be using a different pedaling sequence for that herringbone compared to this tabby weave. And plain weave or tabby weave is actually over one, under one, over one, under one. It's that, like when you would make pot holders, it's like what you would learn how to do in, craft class in, let's say, the first grade or second grade. It's the most simplest technique. And I've been working on the greenhouse. This is the beam that I put up to, I've, raised the roof up, or the, whatever you call that thing there, that beam across there, sagging a little bit. I raised that up and put a new board on there. I did that a couple of days ago. And the next thing I need to do about that is to paint it. And this is just a close-up of the yarn that I'm going to be dyeing soon, and put that video up. I don't know, maybe it depends what the weather is, what's going on. I'd like to go out in the kayak. I have a new place to go, and I'd kind of like to do that. I might do the video for I might do the dyeing maybe Saturday. It's hard to know, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what colors I'm going to dye. I won't probably think about that actually until I start getting ready to dye. I buy red, yellow, and blue, and I mix all the rest of the colors, and black, and I mix those colors to get all the colors that I will be using. And I guess that's about it for now. I want to thank the YouTube channel called the Cabinboyknits coming out of the forest or the woods in Canada and watching them dye yarn and kind of live their life and share it with other people. I guess kind of the what I'm doing.